This is an Apple TV 4K, and today we're going to test some games on it. The Apple TV is a very underappreciated gaming console. In fact, I did a poll a few weeks ago on my channel. I asked you guys if you play games on an Apple TV, and most of you don't even own one. And if you do, you don't even play games on it. Most people who buy an Apple TV usually get it for watching movies on iTunes or streaming movies on Netflix. But for gaming, it is not very popular or well known. What's interesting about Apple TV is its inclusion of Metal 2 actually. Metal 2 is a graphics API that allows games on Apple TV to have better performance. What's also worth noting is that the Apple TV has a limited number of games when you compare it to other gaming platforms. A lot of developers have not paid attention to this system. Because of that, we don't really have many AAA games. We have lots of indie games. Anyways, today I'm going to show you 4 of my favorite Apple TV games right now on this system that you can download also. Alright, so the first game we have is F1 2016. Now, with this, you can literally just turn the remote in the direction that you want to go. However, the Apple TV remote is, it's okay for gaming, but it isn't great, which is why you should definitely invest, holy moly, in a gaming controller. So let's do that. Okay, so we're back in the game, and this time I have the SteelSeries Nimbus, and it is so much, more smooth to play with this. The Apple TV remote was okay, but it just doesn't have, the feel of actually a gaming controller in your hands. Now, having this, you can brake and accelerate more easily. The controller isn't going to automatically accelerate for you. You can do that yourself. And it's just a much more immersive experience. This is the best racing game, in my opinion, on Apple TV. You can also change the views. So right now I'm behind the car, still behind the car. And yeah, this is my favorite view. So the next game we have is Playdead Inside, which is a outstanding game on Apple TV and any other system that it is on. Now this game is actually free. The first chapter, you can try it for free, which is really cool to give you somewhat of a taste of what this game offers. It just looks gorgeous. Really dark tones, but also at the same time some really rich colors. So this game is pretty brutal. If people find you, they can actually kill you, and then you have to restart obviously from that checkpoint. So it can be pretty sad at times as well. Yeah, see, I just tripped on that, and then the guy, he comes and strangles me. It's quite a thrilling adventure. Alright, the next game we have is Shadowgun Legends, which is actually my favorite game on Apple TV right now. This game is free, by the way. Anyone can jump in and pick it up, and it has a very similar feel to actually Destiny. So let's actually jump into a mission right now. Okay, so we've jumped into a campaign game. Now you can also play this in co-op with some other buddies or some other random people online. Anyways, once we get into the game, it actually is pretty damn, amazing. Now, it looks really nice on this machine, and the original Apple TV can also run this game pretty well, but I did notice a few stuttering issues, but here I don't notice anything. And if you have an Apple TV or even an iOS device, this is a must. You really need to get this game. It's so much fun, and it's probably one of the best FPS games on Apple TV right now. Okay, so the next game we have is Dandara. The Apple TV is full of indie games. It's not short of them. So if you want more games like this, you can find heaps. This game works really well here, and it works really well on the first generation Apple TV. Now the game's running at about 1080p and hitting a pretty consistent 60 FPS. Now this game is also on Mac as well, so I'm really happy that the developers have ported this to a range of Apple platforms. What's also worth noting that if you have an Apple TV, you can mirror your Mac screen to it or your iOS device, like an iPhone, an iPad, etc. So I have with me an old iPhone SE. I know it's really old, but I can't help that. It's I'm not rich. So I've got Grid Autosport, which was ported to iOS by Feral Interactive. So I'm going to mirror it to the Apple TV, and we can get right into it. This game doesn't look, amazing here because I'm running it on an old iPhone, but I'm just showing you an example of what it's like to connect. Okay, so here we have Dying Light running on the MacBook Air being streamed to the Apple TV. If you connect a wireless controller, you can be away from your Mac in a completely different room. But just bear in mind, you need a really good internet connection. Like right now, I'm pretty far away, so it's a little bit laggy and I had to lower the quality. So make sure that you have good internet and that you are able to be right next to your internet. Otherwise, you can just be plugged in via Ethernet on your Apple TV. I also thought I should mention some really cool upcoming games that will be coming to the Apple TV system. The first one we have is Sky, which is probably coming to Apple TV in 2019. It's a really cool indie game. It's kind of like a very atmospheric game, and it looks really cool. I don't really know what else to say. The next game we have is Oceanhorn 2. The first Oceanhorn was on this system and it was really popular, and I played it and it was really fun. So I'm really looking forward to a second one. The other game we have is Beach Buggy Racing 2. The first one was on this system as well, and it was really fun, a great racing game, so it's going to be good to have a new one. The biggest issue that we have right now is the limited number of games on this system when compared to, other consoles or playing on Windows. If you want to see more games, then I am producing a top 10 new Apple TV games of 2018. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. Leave a like if you learned something new, enjoyed the video, yada yada, and subscribe if you are new to the channel, because I talk about all things Apple gaming, Mac, iOS, and Apple TV. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye.